spares, and LeBaire misses her spare. As we continue here in the 9th frame. Diso picks up, looks like about 5 pins. Alger up for the Hornets. And she strikes. Lisa will get 5 for the frame. Here's Ryan. Picks off the 10. Gets us to Parker. Misses them all. Parker was working on a spare, so she gets nothing for their fill ball. Ryan gets 9 for the frame. Parker going for her spare, and she will pick up the spare, but she got nothing for her fill ball. Here's Gates. Gates strikes. Sorrell up for the Cougars. She leaves the 4-pin. On the 9th frame, Steele, it's 9 pins. Sorrell picks up her spare. Steele going for the 10-pin. One of them Holstein balls, and she picks it up. There's Tierney. Oh, it's got a bit of a split. Looks like the 3-8. It could be a 3-4. Megan Friend with a spare, with a strike, excuse me, with a strike. We're in the 10th frame, so she's going to keep on throwing. There's Tierney finishing up the 9th frame. She will get 9 for the frame. Friend waiting for a ball. Here's LeBaire. LeBaire was working on a double. Here's Friend. She gets them all down. LeBaire will miss her spare. It's a double for a Friend. 111 for LeBaire. Carries a 140 average. There's Friend. He gets 7 on her second fill ball. Here's Alger. Alger gets 8 pins. Let's check the score. 797. 884. Looks like the Cougars will win this one. A 152 for Friend. She carries a 130 average. Here's Alger. Picks up her spare. She'll get a fill ball. Here's Diso. Diso gets 9 on her first ball. Alger carries a 144 average. She'll be over that. Diso carries a 138 average. Alger gets 7 more. Now let's watch Diso here. Diso spares. Diso's already got a 148. As we said, she carries a 138 average. Alger looks like a 150. We'll see here. Is Diso's fill ball. He only gets a couple for her. There's Ryan. gets 7 pins in her first ball. That's a 150 for Alger. Alger. Oops. Where's Alger here? Alger carries a 144 average. Ryan misses her spare. Here's Parker. Parker has a baby split. Ryan finished with a 125. She has a 151 average. Here's Gates. Gates carries a 170 average. She has a split. And Parker will pick up her spare. Nice job by Danielle Parker. One more. Stupid thing. Here's Gates. She studied it for a while here. 170 average. She will miss her spare. This is a good try. So she'll be 144. Parker finished with a 125. Sorrell gets 7 pins. The steal. So Parker for 125 carries a 127 average, so she was right around her average. Steal gets a strike. Sorrell picks up the spare. Steele carries a 171 average. She'll be over that if she doubles here. These are a 181 at this point. Actually, no, a 171. Not a chance for a 181. She gets it. 181, 10 pins over her average. Team total of 875. Cougars have 940. Sorrell's fill ball is, we'll get her a couple more. These are a 154. 154 for Sorrell. Sorrell carries a 141 average. Here's Danielle Tierney. We avoided the split. Leaves the 6-pin. Tierney with a 175 average, has the highest average among the 10 lady bowlers that are here. Tierney will be under her average. She has a 159 plus this ball here. Over 169. So 6 pins under her average, so she's right around there. That'll conclude the second game. I got a long wait before I start the third game, but the third game will be coming right up for those of you viewing at home. You're watching viewer-supported local television, hometown cable, TV that's worth your support. Stick around. The third and final game for the B-Boys will be up momentarily. The A-Boys are in the 6th frame of their third game. The girls are in the 5th frame of their third game. Then the B-Boys are just barely starting their third game. last 2 times here at the Bowl Mart has been the slowest I've ever seen a team bowl. I'm glad tonight I don't have another place to go because I would be late. These bowls have given new meaning to slow bowling. Let's see, up first for the Hornets was Garrett Mastic. He carries a 167 average. He had a spare. There's a strike from Hampton. This next bowler for Plattsburgh was Norman Gates, carries a 153 average. He gets a spare. Nick DeCoste was up first for the Cougars. Carries a 121 average. He had an open. This is Caleb Hampton. And this is Jeremy Ledoux. Okay, Ledoux carries a 134 average. Cody Hampton a 130, and Caleb Hampton is up there right now, a 113. Ledoux going for his spare. He will miss it. Brings up Nick Paquette from the Cougars. Paquette strikes. Paquette carries a 128 average. Ledoux, as we said, a 134. Matt Rock up next for Plattsburgh, carries a 148 average. Rock gets 6 pins. Mike Noggle up for Northeastern. Left the 5-pin. Noggle carries a 140 average. Rock gets 8 for the frame. Here's Noggle's spare, and he'll miss it. The Boy Scout, Elliot Lackey, carries a 170 average. He gets 6 pins in his first ball. And Mastic starting the second frame. Puts it in the gutter. Lackey going for his spare, and he will leave one. Now Mastic. Got 9 for the frame. There's DeCoste for the Cougars. There's the 4-7. And a strike from Gates. DeCoste going for his spare. Puts it in the gutter. Brings up Ledoux for Plattsburgh. Cody Hampton with a strike. Nate Roberts will retrieve the ball. That pin setter did that last time we were here also. Caleb Hampton ended up hitting it. In the gutter. Ledoux should have done that when the pin setter was down. Instead he does it with the pin setter up. He missed everything. I was explaining his technique to his teammates.
She hurt you? She hurt you?
Hampton waiting for his pin setter. 7 pins for Rock. Looks like there's only 9 pins there. That's been the problem for about 3 minutes. Rock will pick up his spare. Still got just 9 pins. Will we ever get 10 pins in this lane again? Lane number 10. It's getting worse. Now Lackey's up for Plattsburgh. Nate Roberts on the job. Gotta find some extra pins to put in there. Only 8 pins. And there's Lackey going for his spare. He will pick it up. No. And take your bet. How many pins will be here next time the pin setter comes down? I say 9. The answer is... it's not going to go up. Oh, another pin fallen. That one doesn't count. Nine pins again. Nate Roberts on the job. I've been blaming these B-boys for being slow. Maybe it's the pin setters. Oh, Hampton finally gets something to throw ball at and he knocks half the pins down. There's DeCoste. He gets 8 in his first ball. DeCoste in the 3rd frame. Hampton still in the 2nd frame. Oh, Hampton gets 5 for the frame. DeCoste will miss his spare also. Now Paquette for the Cougars. And we got Cody Hampton for the Cougars in frame 3. With 7 pins. And Paquette will get 7 for the frame. Cody Hampton leaves the 10 pin. Mike Noggle. Noggle leaves the 3 pin. Here's Caleb Hampton with his patented 7-step approach. And Noggle going for his spare. He will miss it. Caleb Hampton, he takes a step, and he takes about 3 little steps, and goes back to his normal step. Not sure what that's all about. I'm sure his coaches over the years have tried to get him out of that.
Nice ball, Kate.
And maybe if he got out of that little habit, he can improve his average by 15 pins. That'd be my guess. Here's Paquette. He gets 7 pins. Mastic up for the Hornets. He's just starting the 3rd frame for Plattsburgh.
Oh, nice take. No, beautiful ball.
Mastic will spare. Here's Paquette. And he will miss everything and get 7 for the frame. That brings up Gates for Plattsburgh, and he strikes. And Noggle for the Cougars. Noggle leaves 7 pins. Gates, and there's Noggle. Noggle gets 9 for the frame. 8 for the frame for Gates. Ledoux up now for Plattsburgh. Leaves a picket fence. Eight. And here's Rock. And Rock gets 9 on his first ball. Rock will miss his spare. Mastic starting the 4th frame for the Hornets with a strike. Here's Lackey in the 3rd frame. With 6 pins, 7 pins, 6 pins. And over in the 9 alley, we got Gates. There's Lackey. 9 for the frame. And Gates gets 9 for the frame. DeCoste up for the Cougars in the 4th, gets a strike. There's Ledoux for Plattsburgh. And Cody Hampton for the Cougars. Hampton with a strike. Ledoux leaves a 7 pin. Caleb Hampton. 2 strikes. Rock for Plattsburgh. Rock leaves a 9 pin, brings up Paquette for the Cougars, puts it in the gutter. Rock going for his spare. He will pick it up. Now Paquette going for his spare, and he will get 8 for the frame. There's Lackey. Lackey leaves a 6 pin. And that gets us to Mike Noggle for the Cougars. He gets 7. Lackey will miss the spare by a hair. Noggle will be the final bowler in the 4th. And he gets 9 for the frame also. I'll get us to the 5th frame, and DeCoste Decost gets 5 pins. Mastic will get 9 pins on his first ball. Decost leaves 2, gets 8. There's Mastic. He spares. Cody Hampton up now for Northeastern. 8 pins on his first ball. And Gates gets 7 on his first ball. Here's Hampton. In the gutter. Gates. He'll leave the back one. Caleb Hampton. Bounced around, but no double for him. Bring up Ledoux. Ledoux. It's 5. And Ledoux picks up his spare. Caleb Hampton will go for his spare finally, and he's going to miss it. Rock up for the Hornets. And Rock with a strike. Brings up Pocket for the Cougars and Lackey for the Hornets. Lackey gets 8 pins.
That's not in his vocabulary. No, that's the first place.
Pocket puts it in the gutter. Lackey will miss his spare.
You need money?
And Pocket gets 7 for the frame. Nago will finish the 5th. Decost starting the 6th frame. Decost with a strike. And Nago will get 7. Brings up Cody Hampton for the Cougars in lane 10. 6th frame. Leaves a 10 pin. And Nago picks up his spare. In the gutter, Hampton. Mastic up for Plattsburgh. Mastic with a strike. And Caleb Hampton up for Northeastern with his 7-step approach. Yanks it to the right, to the left. Gets 8 pins. Now Gates. And Hampton will pick up his spare. Gates going for his spare. He will miss it. Goes to the left of it. Pocket up for the Cougars. Leaves 6 pins. Now Ledoux for Plattsburgh. And Ledoux misses his spare. Paquette gets 7 for the frame. Oh, wait a minute. Ledoux is still bowling here. I guess that wasn't his spare ball. He leaves 3. Mike Noggle for Northeastern with a strike. Rock up now for Plattsburgh. He'll put it in the gutter. And Mastic up for the Hornets. Oh, a 10-pin drops, so he gets a strike. Rock for Plattsburgh. He strikes. Now Gates for the Hornets as Lackey gets ready to finish up the 6th frame. Leaves the 1-2. Gates going for a spare.
You had second line.
He will miss. Oh, he picked it up. There's Lackey finishing the 6th frame. And he will pick up his spare. Ledoux bowling in the 7th. We'll check that score in a moment here. Ledoux with a strike. And now starting the 7th frame for the Cougars is DeCoste. And he strikes. Well, let's see, 560 to 580 something. So Cougars are a couple bowlers behind Plattsburgh and about 30 pins ahead. Rock gets 9 pins on his first ball in the 7th. And Cody Hampton will step in. Hampton with a strike. Rock going for a spare, he'll cover it. And Caleb Hampton up. Gets 6 in his first ball. Lackey. He gets 9 in his first ball. That's the 5-pin. And here's Hampton going for a spare. He will leave the head pin. Lackey will miss his spare. Paquette gets 6 pins. Plattsburgh has completed the 7th frame. Cougars are starting the 7th. And DeCoste starts it with a strike. Gives him a turkey, a triple. There's Paquette. He gets 8 for the frame. Cody Hampton.
You get 8. I was just going to say that.
He gets 6 on his first ball. Mike Noggle gets 7 on his ball in the 7th frame. Hampton is in the 8th. Left the 9-pin. Noggle misses his spare. Now Caleb Hampton up. Hampton leaves the 6-10. Mastic up for the Hornets. Leaves the 1-2. spare for Hampton. Mastic also picks up the spare.
Yeah, my parents calling me.
Pocket for the Cougars. Leaves the 1-2-4. And there's Rock, or Gates for Plattsburgh. Gets 6 pins. Pocket picks up his spare. There's Gates going for his spare. Leaves the 8 pin. Noggle gets 8 on his first ball in the 8th. Ledoux up for Plattsburgh. And Ledoux leaves the 10 pin. Noggle is re-bowling his first ball and gets a split. It's double pinochle. Ledoux. Not sure if there weren't enough pins for Noggle's first ball or why he has to redo it. Double pinochle, he gets 2 of them. Gets us to a Rock for Plattsburgh. In the gutter. Rock bowling in the 8th. Mastic ready to start the 9th frame. And 8 pins for the frame for Rock. There's Mastic. And he gets 6 on his first ball. 680 something for the Cougars. 710 for Plattsburgh. Or vice versa. I think that's still, they haven't switched it over yet because Lackey hasn't bowled, so the Cougars are ahead by 20 to 30 pins. Lackey with a strike. That'll close the gap. In the meantime, we've got Gates here in the 9th frame, and he strikes. We must have a dead heat at this point. Of course, the Hornets are a couple bowlers ahead of the Cougars. Here's DeCoste, and he gets 8 on his first ball. Leaves the 6-10. Now Ledoux up for Plattsburgh. Ledoux gets 7 pins.
Frame by frame.
Ledoux going for a spare. He picks it up.
Nice, Jeremy.
Cody Hampton. He strikes. Rock up for Plattsburgh.
All right, you're out of trouble, Matt.
7 pins in his first ball. Caleb Hampton steps up. And he gets 5. Rock going for his spare. Gets 8 for the frame. 720 something for Plattsburgh. Hampton going for his spare. He will get 8 for the frame. Cougars have about a 30-pin lead. And 1 less bowler having bowled. Lackey
Ball, nice. All right.
working on a strike. Gets 8 pins. Pocket. It's 7. This is the spare. He was going for the spare. He didn't go for the wood. He went for the spare and he missed it. Meanwhile, Pocket misses his spare. So now we'll have Noggle finishing up the 9th, and before that, DeCoste starting the 10th frame. DeCoste with a strike. And Noggle strikes in the 9th. So, Nick DeCoste carries a 121 average. He'll be well over that. It's 7 pins. Here's Mastic. He strikes. Garrett Mastic carries a 167 average. There's DeCoste. There's Spares. And Mastic leaves a 10 pin. DeCoste gets a 155, which is 34 pins over his 121 average. Here's Cody Hampton with a strike. Mastic puts his final ball in the gutter. And Mastic gets a 171, which is 4 pins over his 167 average. Cody Hampton looking to double, and he leaves the head pin. Hampton carries a 130 average. Norman Gates carrying a 153 average. Gets 9 pins. Hampton's final ball will be a spare. And Hampton gets a 167, which is 37 pins over his average. Gates spares. There's Caleb Hampton. He strikes. He'll get 2 or 3 on his fill ball. We won't know what the score is for a moment here. In the meantime, Hampton throwing his first fill ball. It's 5 pins. And while we see 130 up there for Gates, this is Ledoux. Ledoux strikes. Gates carries a 153 average, Ledoux a 134. Here's Hampton, he's going to get 7 for the fill. Here's Caleb Hampton a 127, which is 16 pins over his, 13 pins over his 113 average. Ledoux and Paquette. Paquette with a 128 average. Ledoux, as I said, a 134. Ledoux will miss his spare. Give him a 128. Paquette spares. And here's Rock. Rock with a strike. A lot of strikes here in the 10th frame. Rock carries a 148 average. There's Paquette throwing his final ball. And we'll have to wait to make sure that the number I saw is correct. There's Rock. A double. Now they'll just sitting there waiting. Now he's going to come up. Well, yep, it was a 101 for Paquette. Here's Rock's final ball. He strikes out. Give him a 151. Wildcat with a strike. 151 with a strikeout there for Rott. It's 3 pins above his 148 average. Lackey going to be way under his 170 average. And Noggle with the 140 average. Lackey gets 8 pins in his first ball. Noggle gets 5. So Noggle has 128. Lackey gets 9 for the frame. Give him a 106. Noggle picks up his spare. Give him a 133. So Noggle is 7 pins below his 140 average. Lackey with a 106 is 66 pins below his 170 average. So that's it from the Bowl Mart. You've been watching viewer-supported local television, hometown cable, Plattsburgh High School and Northeastern Clinton, and CVAC Varsity Bowling. Don't forget to tune in again, and don't forget to support viewer-supported local television, hometown cable.